Craft at Home with Gracie coming to you from Michigan. Hey everyone, it's Monday and welcome back to Craft at Home with Gracie coming to you live from Michigan. Today, in honor of Memorial Day, we'll be making the Memorial Day American flag keychain. So let's get on to it. For the Memorial Day American flag keychain, we will be using the My Lanyard Maker Kit. The My Lanyard Maker Kit contains 2 storage doors that have lanyard lace, beads, rings, and more. Now it's time to get started. First, we are going to start setting up. All you're going to do is take 1 flat lanyard lace, line the ends up, and fold it in half. Once you have it folded in half, all you're going to do is take 1 ring, take your folded end, going through the ring, then taking your 2 ends and going through this loop. Once you have gone through the loop, all we are going to do is pull tight. Then we're going to place it on our S-hook. Once we have done that, we are ready to get started. Now, before we get started, I have already laid out a design of the American flag for my beads. Now, let's start doing it. I'm going to take my first row of the American flag and place it on one of my flat lanyard laces. Putting on my white bead, my red, my white again, and then my 3 blues. Then once I've done that, I'm going to take my other flat lanyard lace and go through the beads the opposite direction. Making sure I get all the beads. Then once it is through the beads, I'm going to pull tight. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do my second row. Again, taking my row out of the American flag and putting the beads on my flat lanyard lace, doing white, red, white, and my 3 blues. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take my flat lanyard lace and go through my beads the opposite direction. Once I have done that, I'm going to pull tight. Now let's do our third row. Taking my third row out of the American flag, then placing the beads on my flat lanyard lace, starting with my white, my red, my white again, and then my 3 blues. Then once I have done that, taking my other flat lanyard lace and going through the beads the opposite direction. Once I have done that, I'm going to once again pull tight. Now let's move on to our 4th row. Pulling the beads out of the row, then placing them on my flat lanyard lace, starting with white, red, white, red, white, and then red again. Once I've done that, I'm going to take my other flat lanyard lace, going through my beads the opposite direction. Then once I have done that, I'm going to pull tight. Fixing my beads. And now we're going to do another row. Taking the beads and pulling them out. Then placing them on my flat lanyard lace, starting with white, red, white, red, and then white and red. Once I have done that, I'm going to again take my flat lanyard lace, go through the beads the opposite direction, then pulling tight. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do another row, pulling the beads out of the row, then place them on one of my flat lanyard laces, starting with white, then red, then white, then red, and then white and red. Then, once I've done that, I'm going to take my flat lanyard lace, then going through my beads the opposite direction, making sure I'm getting all of my beads, then taking both ends and pulling tight. Moving on to the last row, we're going to place our beads on one of our flat lanyard laces, going white, then red, then white, then red, then white and red. Once I have done that, I'm going to take my other flat lanyard lace, then go through my beads the opposite direction, making sure I'm going through all of them. Then taking both ends, making sure I have all the beads on both of my flat lanyard laces. Taking both my ends, then pulling tight. Now that I've finished my American flag, I'm going to tie a double knot to make sure that it is secure. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the excess string. Now we have the perfect Memorial Day American flag keychain. Well, that's all for today. If you want inspiration on crafts or virtual crafting events, be sure to follow the Friendship Factory on Facebook. Thanks for joining me today and have a wonderful day. Bye!